You're watching Forget Being Cool.
I don't have any other complaints other than that it hurt my feelings. Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Dave.
I'm just gonna get into this, Jeff. We watched a movie.
We did.
It's one of our movies off our 100 bucket list movies that are on this that we have to scratch off and watch. You know, I'm looking at this poster, Jeff, and I'm going, I like that movie. I like that movie. I don't like this movie. I don't like that movie. Oh, we have to watch this movie? I don't like that movie. Oh, I don't think I'm going to like this movie. I went into this movie going, I'm not going to like this movie. We watched American History X.
Yeah, I went to this movie not like it's not my type of movie. Let me just tell you, it's not my type of movie.
No, it's not. It's not my genre, and yet I came away going, that's a really good movie. That doesn't mean I have to like it. Like, does that make sense? Like,
Yeah. I watched this movie and I was like, you know, that was an all right movie, but I don't want to watch it ever again.
yeah, same. I was like, I get it. I get its significance. I get the importance of it, right? Like, I understand why it's an important movie. I understand that it's really well done. I think the acting in this movie is maybe some of the best acting I've ever seen in a movie ever, period.
Exactly.
But I don't like it. I think the performances amongst all these characters playing their parts and their roles is more believable than anything I've ever seen. Right?
Yeah.
Yet, we're going to get into spoiler territory, so let's give this recommendation, Jeff. I think if you're a film fan, right, if you believe in watching important films and you think that movies are important, which I think most people who listen to this show and watch it on YouTube do, go watch this. But it's not for the kids. And it's even hard for the adults, I'm just going to be honest. By the end of the movie, Jeff, I saw that coming.
Yeah. I did not see. I didn't see that coming until he was in the bathroom, and I was like, "Wait a second! No, the whole movie, I thought he was gonna die. The guy,
The older brother,
yeah,
Derek. Yeah, you know, I started thinking that. Right. Okay. So we get to the end, and he's taking him to school, right? And you know, the cop and the teacher, or whatever, come over to him and say, like, we need you to do this thing, right? And the suspenseful music starts in that diner or wherever they were. Okay.
Well, there was suspenseful music the entire last 20 minutes.
Yes. As soon as that started, I go, oh man, Derek's gonna die. The older brother, I go, he's gonna die, right? Like, and his younger brother's gonna see it happen, and it's gonna be traumatic. As we start getting closer to school, I go, oh, no. The younger brother's going to die. Derek's going to pay for everything he did. You know?
Which is crazy.
Right. Like, it's all going to come back around. This movie's actually about Derek. Despite the fact that they want you to think it's about Danny. And I thought that was brilliantly done until the very end, where I was like, yep, this is about to happen. I never want to see the shower scene ever again. Ever. Please, for the love of God, I never want to see anything like that on film ever again.
Oh, it's realistic.
Yeah, I'll give it that. I believe that happens. I believe it's real.
Yeah.
I
mean, yeah, of course. That was really realistic.
You know what I was worried about going into this, Jeff? Because I looked it up.
Black and white?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be all black and white.
Yeah, I did too.
And as I started watching it, it's the kind of black and white that doesn't put me off. Because
it's not a black and white that I want to watch the entire movie, though.
No, but it's a symbol. It's kind of it's not only to show this is the way that he remembers it, right?
Yeah.
but it's also kind of like a metaphor for black and white.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. This is the kind of stuff that I like us to tiptoe kind of around talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to see how, his father's push towards, this opinion of racism, right? He took it to a whole new extreme because he was dealing with the fact that his father had gotten murdered, right? Like he took these feelings that his father had that were negative. They were bad, negative feelings and inaccurate, and he was wrong, right? But they weren't to the extreme of what he took them to doing.
No. His dad. I mean, his dad didn't tell him not to read it. He just said, "Don't pay attention to it."
Right. He said, "Let it go," but
the class.
But don't ignore it. It's a thing, but don't ignore it.
But like when his dad died, he took it to the extreme.
Right. And it's really heartfelt in that way. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same way that his brother kind of took that role on when he got sent to jail. Right?
Yeah.
Like his brother believed because he believed, and it's this way that these negative thoughts and feelings occur and get passed down.
Yeah.
And it's a really heartfelt story that way. And it's beautiful and it's well done. I don't like it. I'll go back to this. It makes me sad.
But for like the first time you can appreciate it.
Right. I appreciate it as an important piece of film. I really do. But this movie makes me feel bad. It doesn't make look, I know that this is an opinion, and I know that we've talked about this, that a movie doesn't necessarily need to make you feel good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not necessarily the point of film. Film is to make you feel things. It's like any other form of art.
Yeah.
This movie makes me feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me hurt inside. For everybody on both sides of this.
Mm-hmm.
Not just him and not just the black people and not just, his mom and his girlfriend, and it's everybody. It's everybody in this film and everybody around it. And I don't, the world we live in, the political state we live in, the financial state we live in, the country that we live in currently, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the world we live in general, there's still violence happening all over the world. There's enough negativity and sadness and drama in real life, right?
Mm-hmm.
That I don't need it in my films.
That's like why I don't watch horror movies, really. I don't want to feel stress.
Yeah.
I want to go to like a movie and feel like not stressed or not sad.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people like horror movies. A lot of people like sad movies. I am not one of them.
They make them feel excited. And sad movies are different, too, even than this. Because this makes me angry. This makes me hurt. This is a hurt feeling, right?
Yeah.
There's something different about, and we'll get to this movie. It's on our poster, The Notebook, right? Like, there's something different about that kind of sad versus this kind of sad. And I mean, I'm glad I watched it. I really am. To those people out there, because I know that the comments are going to light up when we put this out, right? And they're going to say, this is one of the greatest movies of all time.
I think they mostly praise Norton playing Derek role. They're saying that he won like a couple of awards for best actor for it. So they praised the acting the most. It is,
and it's an incredible character arc, and he plays it perfectly.
I think it does a great job when they made the past choices in black and white. It was awesome. It was a pretty good idea.
Yeah, it's smart, and it doesn't hit you right away, right? And the way they tell the story, right? Mm-hmm. Because at first you think, oh man, this is a guy, he's doing his girlfriend. It's kind of weird. And some guys, these guys went out and tried to steal his car.
Dude,
and he went out there and curb stomped them.
Yeah, curb stomped him. Which one of them survived? They said he got 3 years for killing two people. So the one of them had to have survived. Was it the guy who curb stomped?
I don't know.
And then second off, the only thing I couldn't grasp in this movie is how did Derek only get 3 years?
I was thinking about that too. He committed.
He killed three people. He killed two people.
He committed a hate crime, like straight up. And
the cops caught him with a gun in his hand, a Nazi, the swastika on his chest, and two dead people with one that's curb stomped.
right.
How did he only get 3 years?
It's a mystery to me. Good behavior, maybe.
No, that's impossible.
I know, right? Like it's got to be a sentencing for life.
Not for life. Like, I mean, you could say, oh yeah, they tried to prove it, but then they'd say, oh, he didn't. He took it a step too far. I could see 15 to 20 years.
He's caught red-handed. Straight up. I agree with you. It doesn't make any sense.
Away from his house.
Yeah, not only that, he opened fire in the middle of the street. Right.
That's the only thing I couldn't believe.
That's what I was telling Rachel, like 'cause she was like, oh man, it's kind of like, I'm like, it's not like self-defense here, right? It's not like somebody broke into his house, even, right? Like, it's somebody broke into his car and he went out there and he opened fire. This is insane. Like, this is awful.
Did Rachel watch it?
Yeah, she did. She
she
feels the very same kind of way as man, that's a good movie, but I don't like it and I don't want to watch it ever again. Her first reaction was, I don't want to watch it again. And I'm with you. Which is funny you say too. It's like, no, you're right. Never again.
It's one of those one and done movies.
Yeah, and I'm sure a second watch, right? Like now knowing how this will all play out and what it means, right? Moments will mean a lot more if I were to watch it again. Like, I'm sure I'd get a lot out of a second viewing, but I don't want any more out of this.
I think it won't be the same movie because you already expect everything. You already know what to expect.
Yeah.
But that can be said about every movie, but like especially in movies with endings like these, right? Where it's supposed to be like an ending you don't expect.
Even though it becomes apparent that it's about to happen before it does.
Yeah, but I could tell you, I already know what's going to happen at the end of Avengers 2. Avengers.
Yeah, Endgame.
Yeah, Endgame 2. Avengers Endgame.
You
already know what's going to happen.
It's funny about this.
It's just the ride.
Yeah, and that's fine. And sometimes you just got to enjoy the ride. That's the thing, though. You can enjoy the ride, but this isn't an enjoyable experience.
This is a roller coaster of emotions.
Right.
You're living some guy's experience, a decision to change.
Right. You're actually, and this is why it's so important, why it's an impactful film, is you're seriously seeing the moments that lead to a character's actual change, right? Like, he changes as a human being. Period. Straight up. And it's incredible.
I know. It's pretty good. I mean, how would you say it's impactful?
I would say it portrays that point in history, which is still happening, let's be fair, right?
Mm-hmm.
It portrays a side of history that is really happening, and it shows it in all its horrible, bloody, gory, sweary, offensive glory that it is. And it really does truly say something. It doesn't hold back.
This is the first movie that you'll say you hate, but you have so much to say good about it.
Yeah, no, I love it. Like, God, I hate to say this. I love this movie. Like,
the acting was incredible and the journey was great.
Yeah, but I don't like it. It's the most backwards feeling we've ever felt. Anyway, Jeff.
Hey, this movie came out in 98, and I'd say that everything, like all the shooting and the video is incredible for 98.
Yeah, looks great. Cinematography is gorgeous. I don't have complaints. I don't have any other complaints other than that it hurt my feelings.
That yeah, the only thing that gets me is 3 years.
Yeah, no, you're right. It doesn't make sense. It almost. Nah, see, none of it doesn't make sense. It does. There's no way to tell that story any other way.
I mean,
If they put him away for too long, it doesn't make sense. If they turn, Danny into his kid instead of his brother, right? Like, he still might not have gotten the impression and changed in the same way. Actually, the saddest thing about this, and this is the last thing I have to say, right, is we never got an opportunity to really show that Danny had changed.
They didn't give enough time. I mean, he wrote it in the book and everything. You could see that he started to second guess everything.
Right, he had wrote it in the paper, and there's enough in that conclusion.
And he wasn't really as impassioned as Derek was.
Right.
So I looked it up, and apparently for voluntary manslaughter under California Penal Code, you can be sentenced to 3, 6, or 11 years.
Oh, wow.
So 3 years for voluntary manslaughter.
Wow.
That's incredible.
That's not enough. That's not enough time.
Because they describe it as in the heat of passion.
Oh, so because he did it because they were robbing his car.
Because he was so racist, he got impassioned about them robbing his car, and he did it in a fit of rage.
Still doesn't make it right.
He did it in a fit of rage because they were robbing his car. Apparently, I don't know. 3 years.
God. I still feel like the minimum should be 25.
But get 6 years for destroying a TV.
Right. Which, to be fair, showed the story about how he was blamed for throwing it.
Yeah.
Right? The way the story always gets twisted, and you never really know until you know both sides of the story. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And even then, we don't even know he told the truth. This is a movie, and we're supposed to believe he did, right?
Yeah.
But he could have thrown it. It's just a thing that's possible.
He didn't give you any qualms as why he would throw it.
I don't think he did. I personally, like, if I were to interpret this story myself, if I were to hear both sides of this, I don't think he did, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think you can twist this either way, and depending on who you are and what your opinions are and how you feel about things, you could see that story either way, which is why he got sentenced for 6 years, because a jury, right, in court agreed that he threw it. Meaning there were a bunch of people who believed it. That it was the way they told the story, not the way he told the story.
And they believed him.
Right. Anyway, go watch this film. Do not think you're going in here for a good, happy, feel good time.
I mean, with the movie title American History X, I don't know what you expect.
I wasn't expecting something this great.
Yeah, I was expecting a lot worse than this.
Well, every time we get a movie that's like, this portrays the historical events of this time in America, right? And now my brain immediately shifts to like Moonlight, right? And that's the kind of movie I think it's going to be. And it's not that. It's not even close to that.
Dave, but we watched Moonlight.
Our second week of this show.
That was not that long ago.
I know. Anyway, I'm Dave Moore. That's Jeff Daly. All our links are over at forgetbeingcool.com. If you guys want to watch along with us, which I know you guys have mostly figured this out already, you go to the Film Impact page on forgetbeingcool.com. It shows our next movie and the next couple movies we're going to do with the schedules of when they're going to come out. It's really easy. Click the links in the description. Hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. That like button helps us out a ton. If you guys are listening on iTunes or Google Play, go rate us in the store. Give us a 5-star rating on iTunes. It means a lot. Gets us up the charts. Makes more people listen. Go to forgetbeingcool.com for all the other links: Discord, Facebook, the Twitters, all
The
the
whole
stuff.
9 yards.
Right.
Instagram. We're not on Instagram. You won't find us there.
I'm only on there. I'm the only one on the website that appears to use Instagram, and I don't even use it that much. Guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next week for another impactful film.
For more great discussions, hit that subscribe button or visit forgetbeingcool.com.